in many cases where the discipline of the parent was extensive, they would create forms of proteges, for instance, where a child is trained to be highly effective. The elite is very good at this because they send their children to specialized schools that train them to take over their business empires, to take over their businesses and train them specifically what to do and how to do it. This is done in many of the bloodline families. What is bloodline families? It's families that simply realized one thing, that your child's effectiveness is dependent on what you program into your child. The whole consumerism business, the whole religious business, the educational systems, your money system, all of it is working on a simple principle of motherfucking. You're being motherfucked the whole fucking time. Now what's more interesting is because of the great disgust that exists inherently within all people towards their families, especially their mothers, because they feel their trust has been violated, mothers will normally end up in a physical form that is disgusting. They will take on, after they had children, a form that you can clearly see they are no longer a woman. They are now a mother. They are no longer something that is in shape. They have become just a piece of meat that impregnates their children with the same bullshit they were impregnated with. And they do that as a living. I mean, that's all they live for. They only live for their children. Everything else becomes irrelevant, which then tend to lead to the males having multiple relationships outside their marriages, obviously all under pretense, because remember that this particular point of being able to pretend so magnificently is taken to extremes also in relationships where especially the males will go around and sleep around and or go to prostitutes extensively. That's why if you really have to look at commonsensically, you have a massive prostitute industry with females available for males and males available for males, a very small one for females. Females don't normally do this because the mother is busy fucking their children, so while the mother is busy fucking the children, the father is busy fucking the prostitute. I mean, that's how the sex thing operates. So motherfucker is fucking themselves, the mother is fucking themselves and their children, and the father becomes somebody that must seek his basic physical needs somewhere else. And that's all done obviously under a pretense, a false image that is projected, that becomes then the image and the likeness of this world, this false image that is existent. That's why in this world you have a society of multiple false images, secrets, controls, lies, deception, corruptions, everywhere. And you have the people with the audacity using religion as their excuse to say that everything is fine and that somehow God is going to save everybody. Please, have a look. If you are only a child goes to heaven, I mean, why is that? You can't trust a bloody adult because the adult is all motherfucked. A child, before they're motherfucked, they can go to heaven. Why? Because they're innocent and they can be trusted until the parent comes in and fuck them. Then they're motherfucked. Once they're motherfucked, they're no longer a child. They have become a clone of the parents. They are as fucked as the parents. And the 7 generations of sin is now continuing. So from that moment forth, the child no longer are able to go to heaven. What does that mean? Heaven is a state of being. Now, what one then created, or what has been created within oneself, is this pretense, this point where you can pretend everything is fine, which you call your form of heaven, which is the religious heaven, the righteous heaven. That righteous heaven is where you're standing in the face of everything and you have been saved by the blood of Jesus, and you can stand and you don't give a fuck about anything else, and you motherfuck anything that comes and challenge you. So in existence we have a big problem. We have the problem of the motherfuckers. Everyone is a motherfucker. I mean, you just have to look. YouTube is a very cool way to look at. If you look at all the comments on Destiny, and I mean, remember there's about 40% of the comments we don't even approve because of the vile nature of it. You'll notice that the nature of the people participating on YouTube is mostly motherfuckers. They're all trying to fuck others so they can feel better about themselves. It's just a motherfucking story. And this is also lived out in masturbation, so I would really implore you to really investigate masturbation, relationships, and how you deal with sexuality and how you deal with your inner world. And here, as we suggest, Destiny, it is really your responsibility. Your responsibility is the whole point of self-realization. Within that, you have to realize that if you do not become self-honest and you are unable to forgive those that has motherfucked you, you will become a motherfucker. And you'll end up in exactly the same point where you claim you don't want to be. So practically, what do we suggest? We suggest self-honesty, and we suggest that some of the things you're not going to be able to see very easily, therefore you do self-forgiveness. It is a tool which allows you to become self-honest and to walk in self-honesty. We suggest that you breathe effectively, because, I mean, if you are breathing effectively, at least you can see what the fuck is in your direct environment and be honest with yourself within the context of your direct environment. And then work out what is commonsensically a solution for this motherfucking business called life to be sorted out. Because if we keep on motherfucking each other, I mean, this shit is not going to end. It's just going to get worse. And I mean, if I call you a fuckface now, what am I really saying? Is you are fucked face. Because you are. You're unable to be self-honest. You're unable to actually forgive. And you're unable to live here as breath, so that every word you speak is a living word. The only word you're living is the word fuck. That's why what is the primary objective of every being in existence? Is to fuck as much as they can. And in that they're fucking themselves, which means they become fuck-faced. Why are they fuck-faced? It's because they're motherfuckers. Who fucked them? Their mothers did. That's why the motherfuckers are the motherfuckers. So I suggest fuck-face, stop the motherfucking, and get down to some fucking forgiveness. Understand that the elite of this world understand these things. They have developed specifically psychology and psychiatry with a specific purpose of controlling the motherfuckers of existence. So that between birth and death you're controlled to not fuck around in the reality of the elite. And therefore they have their own little spaces which they control, while you're left to your own motherfucking devices where you can fuck your own face. Fuck face. Wake up.